Here we are at the Peterborough Driving Test Centre. On the day of the driving test, we left 50 minutes before the test to get warmed up. So I will come an hour before the test starts. We'll have 50 minutes to warm up. We arrive 10 minutes before the test is due to start. This is so that the previous test can get out of the test centre easily. You'll need to pay me for 2 hours of driving lessons for that test day. If you do the test in your own car, obviously you don't have to pay me. You do need to have insurance, however. You need to have L plates, and you need to have this internal mirror for the examiner. So as well as a normal mirror, you need a mirror for the examiner. The test times in Peterborough are as follows. These do change sometimes, but these are the standard ones. So it's 8:10, 9:07, 10:14, 11:11, 12:38, 1:35 and 2:32. The reason why they are at odd times is because, let's say the test was 9 o'clock and you were 5 minutes late. You could say, well, I'm only 5 minutes late. As if it's 9:07 and you're 5 minutes late, it's 9:12. So that gives the it makes it much more difficult for you to argue with the examiner. Please understand, the examiners work to tight schedules, and that's why they have to do this. The car is reversed into the bay where it's easy for you to get in and get out, when the test starts. We can put things in the boot at this stage. There is a toilet in the Peterborough Test Centre here. At the appointed time, the examiners will come to your car. They'll ask to see your licence. They will check it with a UV light to make sure that it's not a fake. They'll get their tablet out and ask you to sign the insurance declaration. You will have this cover if you have a driving test with me. You'll ask if you want me, the instructor, to hear the debrief at the end. That's really up to you. I will sort of stand near the car at the end, and you can just wave me in if you want me to hear the debrief. If there are extra examiners sitting in the back, you have to be aware that you're going to have to brake earlier. The car might slow down, take longer to slow down, so you need to be aware of that, and the weight might push the back of the car down, so just be aware of that. They'll lead you to one side of the car park where you'll be they'll ask you which car's yours, because they don't want you to memorise the number plate on this car. They just want to check your eyesight, so you need to read a number plate at 20.5 metres. So you need to know that before you come for the test. If you can't read the number plate at 20.5 metres, the test will be failed. You'll lose your money and you'll have to rebook it. So just make sure that your eyesight is okay. If you have to wear contact lenses or glasses to read that number plate, you need to wear those all the time you're driving. You may be asked to pop the bonnet, and this will be the first show me tell me question. So the lever's here on the left, on the passenger side on the left. So just remember it on this one. If you get the show me tell me wrong, which does happen sometimes, it's only a driver error, so it's only a minor error. So please don't panic. You're allowed 15 driver faults. Some people at the start of the test, if they get a minor, they get upset. Just forget it's happened and move on. The exception is when they ask you a question on the move, and they'll ask you, when it's safe, can you press the horn, or can you put the window down, or clean the windscreen. So just make sure it is safe. Just look around, just make sure it's safe before we do that. I find most people get this correct. The ones that don't say something completely wrong, so this is due to nerves, I feel. If at the start of the test, or when we get ready, if you communicate with me in any way, I'm going to have to ignore you, because if I answer you, it could void the test. So I will ignore you. He will take down my details from my approved driving instructor badge, so they'll take the details off here, just for the record, to measure my pass rate. So they'll do that. What he'll do is he'll ask you, what would you normally be doing today on a Tuesday morning. So if you mention, I'll be looking after my children, or going to work at a certain place or whatever, they might talk about that later. They just want to put you at ease. They want to just have a conversation with you. If it gets too much, just ignore them. You know, it's not a problem. They're there for your benefit, so don't worry. He'll explain the test will last 38 to 40 minutes, and that will include a 20-minute independent drive. So with that independent drive, 4 out of every 5 of those independent drives is a sat-nav. You'll be following the sat-nav directions, and then 1 out of every 5 is following signs. So you'll be following signs to Yaxley or the A1M or Warrington, that sort of thing, or city centre, or all other routes, that sort of thing. If you go the wrong way, they won't mark you down, so just go the wrong way safely. It's just managing the distraction of following signs, managing the distraction of the sat nav, and like in real life, they want you to go the wrong way safely. They don't want you to force your way and cause a collision. So he'll also explain to follow the road ahead unless he directs you otherwise. He'll ask you if you want to hear those instructions again. He'll say, we're going to do one manoeuvre, maybe an emergency stop. When he says maybe an emergency stop, it's just 1 in 3 tests. So it's just 1 in 3 tests. So we need to be ready for that. So let's say the examiner wants you to turn right at a roundabout, and you're in the lane to go straight ahead, or the lane to go left. Just go the wrong way safely. Go left or straight ahead. It's very easy for me to say that, but it's very hard to put it into practice. So if going right at a roundabout means that you have to cut across lanes without dangerously, then they'll fail you. So just go the wrong way safely. It's hard to put that into practice. It's very easy for me to say that. So just bear that in mind. They're not looking for a perfect drive, but looking for a safe drive. They know you're nervous, and that's why you're allowed 15 minor errors. So you know, they don't panic about making those minor errors. They're safety critical errors, and these are marked as serious or dangerous. So serious is a potentially serious situation. Dangerous is an actual dangerous situation. Getting one of either of those two is a fail. Habitual faults will result in a fail. So if for example, you're checking you forget to check the left mirror when you're turning left, this will be marked as a driver fault, a minor fault. But if you do this 3 or 4 times, then you'll get a serious fault. This is because they don't want you to drive with habitual fault, so they feel you need to get this sorted before we can give you a licence. So don't take it in a bad way. It just means that we need to get these things sorted. If you've realised you made a minor fault, try not to repeat it for the rest of the test. So let's say you've forgotten that right mirror when you're turning right, just remember to do it the rest of the time. And then that could just be put through as a minor. Try to put any mistakes or potential mistakes behind you and move forward. That serious error you think you made might only be a minor error to the examiner, so just forget it if you made a mistake and move on. That's easy for me to say, it's hard to put into practice, but you just need to do that. I've had people beating themselves up over errors. The next mistake's been a serious one, so please just forget it. They want to see you driving it safely at junctions, so observations are key and acting on what you see. If you're at a busy junction, and don't let the pressure build up as you're waiting, it may not be safe. Just try to assess the situation again and again. Try not to think about how long you've been waiting, as it's not relevant. So if you've been waiting 2 minutes, what I do is I just reset the clock in my head. I say, I've only just arrived, and then reassess it. Now I do that now as a driver. Try to take manoeuvres at a slow walking pace and look in the direction of travel about 80%, and then the mirrors about 20%. They want you to drive slowly on manoeuvres so you can see vulnerable road users, things like children, that sort of thing. So they do want you to go slowly when you're doing that. They won't be impressed by doing manoeuvres quickly, so just do them safely. Learners tend to be concerned with stalling and manoeuvres, but it tends to be observation at junctions and roundabouts where candidates are not successful nationally. So just bear that in mind. It's more observations. There's more safety critical things that we're looking at.